have but a short time to live together in peace and goodwill. An extraterrestrial message from 1977. The event caused a panic. It was widely reported in newspapers in multiple countries, mostly in the United Kingdom and the United States. On November 26, 1977, there was a broadcast, a television interruption, in parts of South, Southeast, and Southwest England. Southern Television was the license holder for the service, and it was headquartered in Southampton and Dover, and broadcast from the transmitters at Dover, Bluebell Hill, and Hannington, among others. A popular clip that can be found all over the internet today shows Southern TV's news anchor Andrew Gardner relaying the day's news when all of a sudden the TVs of those who were watching went blurry and wobbly, and the broadcast was replaced by a distorted voice that delivered a message for approximately 6 minutes. The event caused a panic. It was widely reported in newspapers in multiple countries, mostly in the United Kingdom and the United States. What I find interesting, the author says about this case, is that it's never been solved. It's simply been assumed that the station was hacked, and this was why this was some sort of a prank. I think to myself, how hard would something like this be to pull off in 1977? It must have not been an easy feat in that time, given the fact that technology was not very advanced. It's not like it could have been done in a few minutes with a laptop. How in this time could one jam a TV signal and replace the audio and video with that of their own? I don't know the answer to the question, or whether or not it is possible, and or how difficult it would have been in that time. I can't find another instance anywhere this has happened prior to this instance. The message for the broadcast read as follows. This is the voice of Vrillon, V-R-I-L-L-O-N, Vrillon, a representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights in the skies. We speak to you now in peace and wisdom, as we have done to your brothers and sisters all over this, your planet Earth. We come to warn you of the destiny of your race and your world, so that you may communicate to your fellow beings the course you must take to avoid the disaster which threatens your world and the beings on our worlds around you. This is an order that you may share in the Great Awakening as the planet passes into the New Age of Aquarius. The New Age can be a time of great peace and evolution for your race, but only if your rulers are made aware of the evil forces that can overshadow their judgments. Be still now and listen, for your chance may not come again. All your weapons of evil must be removed. The time for conflict is now past, and the race of which you are a part of may proceed into the higher stages of its evolution if you show yourselves worthy to do this. You have but a short time to learn to live together in peace and goodwill. Small groups all over the planet are learning this and exit to pass on the light of the dawning New Age to you all, New Age with capital N, capital A. You are free to accept or reject their teachings, but only those who learn to live in peace will pass to the higher realms of spiritual evolution. Hear now the voice of Vrillon, a representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. Be aware also that there are many false prophets and guides operating in your world. They will suck your energy from you, the energy you call money, and will put it to evil ends and give you worthless dross in return. Your inner divine self will protect you from this. You must learn to be sensitive to the voice within that can tell you what is truth and what is confusion, chaos, and untruth. Learn to listen to the voice of truth which is within you, and you will lead yourselves onto the path of evolution. This is our message to our dear friends. We have watched you growing for many years, as you too have watched our lights in your skies. You know now that we are here and that there are many more beings on and around your Earth than your scientists admit. We are deeply concerned about you and your path towards the light, and will do all we can to help you. Have no fear, seek only to know yourselves and live in harmony with the ways of your planet Earth. We of the Ashtar Galactic Command thank you for your attention. We are now leaving the plane of your existence. May you be blessed by the supreme love and truth of the cosmos. That is what they said. Now, TV engineers tried to get to the bottom of the interruption and stop it, but were unsuccessful. Nobody has ever claimed responsibility for the event, and the news episode of that day remains a curious unsolved mystery that will never be explained. An investigation into this was launched by the Independent Broadcasting Authority, but it's difficult to find the results. The IBA was replaced in 1991 by the Independent Television Commission, which itself ceased to exist in 2003, when it and other bodies were folded into the new broadcasting regulator, Ofcom. And David Barnett, journalist from the Independent, states, I asked Ofcom, but of course they don't keep records from other bodies going back so far. They did point out that deliberately interfering with the UK's TV and radio infrastructure is against the law and can affect others who need to use vital airwaves, such as the emergency services. Does a galactic federation really exist? The idea that there is some sort of a galactic federation of races that represent a benevolent force in our galaxy or universe is not a new idea. Channelers, those who claim to be in telepathic communication with different groups of extraterrestrials, have relayed this idea to the human race for many decades. This idea was recently sparked again when Haim Eshed, the former head of Israel's Defense Ministry's Space Directorate, former general and respected professor, claimed to the U.S. that the U.S. and Israel have been in contact with intelligent extraterrestrials for quite a long time, and you'll find a video I did on him a couple of days back. He specifically referenced the Galactic Federation, emphasizing how they are waiting for humanity to evolve and that we are not quite ready for contact. This sentiment echoes a message from the broadcast above, and you can read the story in the link here. The story was picked up by multiple mainstream media outlets. Most of them covered the story with ridicule, with some of them hinting to the idea that Eshed has lost his marbles. I find this interesting given the fact that mainstream media has recently published various articles in multiple outlets taking the issue of UFOs and the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence quite seriously, including CNN. It's interesting to note how a story comes out about supposed extraterrestrials urging us to get our SHIT together is completely ridiculed, yet other incidents about a bit of a threat narrative bias is taken completely seriously. According to Colonel Ross Dietrichson, who was responsible for maintaining the inventory of the nuclear weapons stockpile for the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, the U.S. tried to detonate a nuclear weapon on the moon for scientific purposes and measurements. He claimed that extraterrestrials destroyed the weapon before it got to the moon, and that the detonation of any nuclear weapon in space by any Earth government was not acceptable to the extraterrestrials, and that has been demonstrated time and again. And you can learn more from him on the interviews before he passed conducted by Dr. Stephen Greer in the link here. And also, former Canadian Defense Minister Paul Hellyer once stated that decades ago, visitors from other planets warned us about the direction we were headed and offered to help. These are statements from credible people with very interesting backgrounds that again date back decades, and above are few of the multiple examples. We have, of course, pictures, radar tracking data, and testimony from military agencies regarding the existence of UFOs is again quite mainstream at this point in time. The discussion about extraterrestrials and whether or not they are benevolent or malevolent is a huge discussion, one I'd rather not go into in this article. Having been a researcher, he says, on this topic for more than 15 years, I can tell you there is an enormous amount of info to sift through, from documented UFO cases to supposed close encounters and experiences that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people have had with beings from other planets. So the takeaway, it's easy to brush off a possibility or a hypothesis simply because it contradicts what we believe. Humanity has been doing this for quite some time. For example, a paper published in the Journal of Space Exploration regarding features on the far side of the moon that may be artificial states the following. A decidedly conservative mainstream scientific establishment often rejects anomalies based on the subject matter alone. Hence, there cannot be alien artifacts on the moon because there are no alien artifacts on the moon or other planets. Such a view is an example of circular reasoning based on the belief that extraterrestrials do not exist, or if they do exist, that they could not have traveled to our solar system. So how much do our beliefs and perceptions about our world limit and hinder our ability to discover and acknowledge ideas and results that may not fit the frame? How much do we limit our consciousness and perceptions about our world, who we truly are, and what we're capable of as a result of our beliefs and our determination to say this is the way things are? And this is on Collective Spark by Arjun Walia Collective Evolution, published here under Creative Commons. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.